This is the Bear Country Outdoors Barely a Podcast. I'm your host, Doug Joyce, and with me is James Forsland and Chris Cantrell. Thanks for joining. Okay, guys, welcome back. We got our first guest today, Mr. Te'Shawn
Crenshaw.
Welcome here.
I'm in the house.
And go ahead and talk a little bit about what you do.
All right, so I'm a videographer. So I do that, and I work in the paintball industry. When I'm not doing that, I'm working with businesses, like trying to promote. Oh, thanks. Trying to just promote other businesses, help with their social media content and all that stuff. And so it's just back and forth when I'm not doing that.
Basically what you're here to do.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What are you
For Bear
getting ready
Country
for?
Outdoors.
James, you got your mic too close to your face.
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's perfect. All right. So James is going to be extra loud. But anyway, what is Te'Shawn doing here, James?
Well, he is going with, well, we're doing a lot.
We're going on
We're
an
doing a lot.
excursion.
Hold on, guys.
Depends on what you want to get into. Today he was
Yeah.
watching me shovel horse shit.
Yeah.
I hope you got some good content off of
Well, we got a little bit of content.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
hiding from horses, so
Yeah.
I didn't know how
He's
to feel
afraid
about
of the
that.
horses.
Oh, man.
I was
coming
cooler
over.
with him today.
He's
but I
like,
was
this one's eyeing me. I'm like, he's not going to do anything.
I ain't never
He
been
ain't gonna
around a
kick you
horse
in the
that
head.
or
But-
anything that had a head.
Back
that
to
big,
the
you know?
question here, Doug. Te'Shawn is going to be going with me to Montana, where we're going to be filming spring bear hunt. And that's going to be a week, and maybe even possibly hunt or Idaho as well, if things go well in Montana. And then we're coming back, and then he is going to jump in with Chris for another week and go all the way up to
Alberta.
Alberta.
Yeah. He's going to we're
Going
gonna
north of the border, folks.
we're gonna hop in a
Hop the border.
pickup truck, a Ram 4-door pickup truck, and we're gonna put 4 men my size and then T in there,
Yep.
It's going to be awesome.
That's yeah.
and it's
see,
gonna be tight. He's gonna. I'll give you one
Can't
guess
imagine-
where he's sitting.
I can't imagine what the border patrol agents are gonna give you.
Dude.
What look they're gonna give you when you
man. Screw
Like,
that.
what the hell
I
you
was
guys
like, I
showing
just
up?
realized everybody's like the size of a basketball player, and I'm the size of a midget. How am I gonna film this, man? Like, I was like, what? Like, I should have included in the budget for a stool or something. Like, what's gonna happen?
Just get my
We'll have to-
good chin when you're
Get
shooting
you
up.
some of those stilts that the drywallers.
Yeah,
wear, you know?
exactly.
Well, maybe order him a pair of what do they call those the tennis shoes, elevator shoes for short people or something
I got some strength shoes you
Yeah.
can wear, bro.
Dude, I just had to get over it because I listened to a few other episodes. I'm like, okay, well, now we know I'm the size of a Mexican and I'm going to the wrong border. So this is going to be interesting. So getting to a border patrol, that's going to be like, I'm going to just flash it. I'm an American. I'm an American.
Get ready, folks. This is gonna be some good video content.
It's gonna
yeah.
be super fun. I'm
gonna
excited.
be-
We got
I wish I could make it.
5 guys, I think, going up there,
I wish I could swing it.
plus T. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
legit.
It's no longer a show if it's called not Five Guys.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's gonna be called
You might have to do a wee bit of editing on that one.
5 Guys and T.
5 guys at tea.
Five guys and tea.
It's gonna be good though. It's gonna
Before we get too
The
far
5
into
giants.
it, should we announce that we're going to do a giveaway in this episode?
Yeah.
Chris,
What are we giving away?
What are we going to give away in this episode?
we are going to give away. We had been given 3 pairs of boots by Umatati Safaris, and we have 2 pairs left, and we have a 10 and a 10.5. That is a U.S. 10 and 10.5. And if you don't know anything about Jim Green boots, you can look them up on the Instagrams. They give away. I should know this. A bunch.
It's 1 out of 10. I think it's 1 for every 10 pairs sold or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
To the Rangers.
Yeah, they give away a lot of freaking
Yeah.
boots. So,
I mean, I would hope they would.
Yeah, I mean they give. So the Rangers. Explain to people what Rangers are.
so if you've not been to South Africa, poaching is it's like
Pretty abundant
it's
over
yeah
there,
it's
yeah.
incredibly abundant. It's like everyday life, right? So there's not a lot of jobs paying jobs, right? So you can be a poacher, go out and go kill an elephant and cut off tusks and go sell it on the black market, right? But that's obviously not the right thing to do. So all these outfitters that have these massive, huge concessions of land, like 40,000 acres, 100,000 acres, 200,000 acres, they have to have, like security, right? So a lot of times they don't have private security, but they have national parks there too. And so all of these rangers go and patrol this, right? Because the guys will go in at night and, hack things to death with machetes.
It's such a huge piece of land.
It's
too.
massive.
Right.
Yeah. It's
I
really,
don't even
really
think
big.
you could put enough boots on the ground to cover it.
No,
No.
they can't.
No. So just from a business perspective, giving away like 10% is like a massive amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's pretty freaking cool that these guys do that. And they're nice boots. I mean, I got a
been
pair.
wearing mine.
Yeah, we both got pairs and we've been wearing them around and they're super nice. So again, we have a 10 and a 10.5.
Yep.
We're limited on sizes here, folks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you have a 10 or a 10.5 and you're not a terrible person,
Yep.
and you don't poach things, if you leave us a comment on the YouTubes or the Instagrams, and we will pick a winner.
Mm-hmm. And this will be episode 12, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because we got one more coming.
Yeah. Episode 11 is ready to go.
All right. So
stay tuned for that.
giveaway is taken care of.
And
Now-
sorry about the last couple ones, so my bad.
Apologize in advance.
No apologize.
We listen.
No,
we
They're
had
all
fun
good to
on
me.
those. Yep.
I laugh hysterically at work listening to those. So
Wow.
This one has definitely got its name. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, what do you got? What do you got for us today? What do you think we should talk about?
Well, I mean, you guys barely touched bases on what the hell you guys were doing.
Oh, so more about Te'Shawn,
Well, I talked
right?
about what I'm doing. I'm going to Montana.
Sorry. So
Montana, guys. I'm
gonna go shoot me
a bear.
so
it on film.
I met Te'Shawn. By the way, it's Te'Shawn Leroy Crenshaw.
What a
love
name.
it. See, he's
love
got
it.
it down.
Leroy
Yeah.
Crenshaw. Yeah.
There you go.
So the first time James goes, "Hey man, we're gonna pick this guy up from the airport. We're in Spokompton. We're driving through."
Oh man, this is a good story.
And
What did you just call
I don't even know what's
Spokane.
Spokane, Spokompton.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
we're rolling
I like where
through.
this is going.
Yeah. So we're trying to like we truck and a trailer, right? And we're trying to like weave our way through traffic and find this guy we've never met, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "What's this guy's name?" And he's like, "His name's
I was getting it wrong.
it's Te'Shawn."
Oh yeah,
Te'Shawn.
I
dude,
kept-
it took him forever.
took me
the
a
whole trip,
long
damn
time.
near.
And so
Oh, dude, it
Turn
was
the name.
terrible.
and so
You're like Uncle Vern.
the whole time
yeah.
we're like, Te'Shawn, brr, 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 brr.
Well, we didn't know
forgot
what
about
kind of. We
that.
didn't know, so we played it a little reserved at first. I mean, we did mess with him right when we picked him up. Tell me about when we first picked him up.
Come on, Jim.
Oh.
I know you better than that.
Okay, here, let me take this part of the story from here.
You're full bore right out the gate. There's no holding back. What the hell are you talking about?
So I
is so
remember we
funny.
were pulling up, and T's like, I think he called me on the phone, and he didn't know, he had never met us.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, what are you guys driving? And I was like, you can't miss us. We're in a 1989 Ford Ranger single cab with a trailer on the
I
back.
remember
And
that.
so
I
or
was
something.
like-
I just gave him this line, like we were in some pile truck,
Like a homeless
and I was
truck?
like, yeah,
Right.
we got one of those. It's like an overhead camper on the back of this 1989 Ford Ranger. It's all beat up. You can't miss us. And he's like, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man,
literally
what did
thought
I get
at that-
myself in for.
Oh, dude.
I literally was like, screw
even
it, but
think
I
I-
was like,
He probably thought about walking away.
no. I literally was like, all right, these guys are gonna do it. They're hardcore about it, regardless. But they just got a janky setup. That's totally fine because that's like most hunters. They don't have all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Fair enough.
And then he's like, nah, I'm just joking. We're in a what the hell is it? It was his
Chris's-
truck or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, you could have missed
blue
him.
truck, guys.
We're
Can't
in a
miss
limited edition Dodge 3500 crew cab.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
But that's how we met.
Yeah, that's literally that. And then we
I
drove.
don't even think I've been to the Spokane airport.
It's actually really nice.
It's
Yeah?
an interesting location because it's like
It's in the middle of nowhere.
middle of
I mean,
nowhere.
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the airport's super easy. Like you just pull up and just
Yeah.
just pull up, drop them off, get out, and then you come out the same way when you
Right.
pick them up.
Yeah, but it was weird. Like you're just like totally flat. There's nothing around. There's
No.
like, no buildings, no nothing. It's like, oh, there's the airport. Let's just get this guy.
I liked it.
We pull up. We're like, hey man, you want some candy? Get in.
Oh, man.
But then
Insane.
we picked him up, and then we're going to Montana. So you could imagine, right? He hops in, and we're just like, "What's up,
Hop
dude?
in. We're going to Montana.
We're going
boys.
to Montana."
Yep.
And it was a great trip. Although we almost killed him. We didn't really know what we were getting into though either. Like
Yeah.
all of us, like the guys we're meeting some guys from Hayes Taxidermy, and going just bear hunting, and we didn't really know where we were going or what we were doing. And the guys that we met were like Instagram fitness models, you know.
Oh my God.
So Colton's like,
They're
"Hey
both
man," like
hardcore.
just shredded out of his mind, and he's like, "Hey, we're just gonna go on a little hike up here," and like we just like go a million miles up like this up the mountain,
So many
And-
switchbacks.
and if you're watching right now, you could see like T's in incredible shape.
Now.
Now he was not in this shape.
Wait a minute. What does that make me? What kind of shape am I in?
Dude, we were talking about you yesterday, me and T.
Yeah.
I was like, how Doug's like the animal that he's like the Energizer
Dude,
bunny.
I
He
wish
just
I
keeps
had
going and
your
going and going.
energy to just do whatever.
The stamina
I
is
can't do it.
incredible.
Come do dirt work.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know,
I put a shovel in your hand. Let's see how fast you can dig a hole. That'll prove your strength right there.
No, I don't want to do that either, Doug.
I don't know how that equals out, but dude, whatever you're doing, keep doing that. It works. Because I don't got it like that.
You know.
You got a new backpack though this year, right?
Well, no, I got the same Cabela's one that he gave me. It was
Okay.
yeah. So
All right.
No,
Well,
it's not
survive.
it's not the one he had before the gray
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
So-
It's not that.
so
Oh, you're gonna tell that story?
We might as well just stay on track. and
Yeah,
just keep
yeah. All right,
telling
we'll
Tayshawn
build up to
stories.
it.
I mean, that's kind
Yeah,
of like a,
and then we'll
so-
start asking Tayshawn some questions after we tell some Tayshawn.
So-
stories.
All right, yeah, go
and
ahead.
then we can
Go
take
ahead.
some. We can look
We're-
at some Instagram questions.
we're hiking up.
Yeah.
We're hiking up the mountain, and I'm not trying to take away anything from his size because he's not as tall as the rest of us, but he's like a normal sized guy.
No, the hell I'm not.
So
I'm 5'3", man.
okay, he's more like 5'2".
I missed
But
puberty.
like,
He knocked off an inch. How dare you?
so you can imagine how long his legs are, and we're going up this steep ass mountain, and I'm watching his little legs like try and make it up the mountain, and he's got this backpack. I've never seen a backpack like it before in my life, and he unzips the bottom, and like it just like bloop, and it poops out this whole nother backpack out of the bottom, and it's like banging him on the calves as he's trying to go up this mountain. And I'm like, what is that, dude? What is is that a backpack? You got a duffel bag? Like,
I have a picture.
I know.
on my phone somewhere with that backpack on.
I looked at that bag and I was like, what the hell am I doing?
It's like down past his calves. Okay, I have to step away for a second.
yeah. And I thought,
James is laughing too hard, guys. We
I
have to
lit-
take a break here.
I literally thought like we might kill this kid. I don't think he's gonna make it. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it didn't help last year when we went out in the fall. That was like one of the wettest springs that we've had.
Oh, yeah.
and the grass was like, 4 foot tall everywhere.
right?
You know, that was miserable even for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude.
and think about going up straight up. You know,
It's hard.
Made it though.
I hate it.
Oh,
when
yeah.
It's like
And you came back.
it was
And I
brutal.
came back.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I remember talking with James after that hunt, and I was like, "Hey man, so what'd you think about T?" And he looks at me, he's like, "Well, I don't think he's coming back."
Let's just put it this way: if we would have ended up and dropped down into that draw and went after that bear and got into some shit, that would have been a wild ride of a day. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because getting out of that draw,
Nightmare just looking at it.
Yeah, I know it's nasty.
Did you ever make it over to that one? Probably not. When you went over there.
Oh, on the death hike?
Yeah.
No.
The
No.
one that had like the 3
You
ridges
went,
over.
you went on. You went. It was when we first went over to it,
Okay.
and we dropped down in there, and we
Yeah,
sat.
the one
sat
when
up- we-
Chris, we never
It
made
was
it
us
over.
sat
three.
with us. Yeah.
and we sat on a bear for like
Yeah.
3 hours.
That was in the bottom of that one. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were chilling. It was hot out
That was
right
totally
there.
a bear.
Going back up
Oh,
sucked.
100% that was a bear.
Yeah,
It sucked.
we never did. We never did get to see him though.
No. James made me carry his pack down.
If we
to
would
him.
have, if we would have stayed there all day and stuck with the plan and waited till evening, we would have shot a bear that night. I just couldn't. I just couldn't even bear the thought of staying in like 100 degrees in the
Well,
sun
what
like
time
that.
was it? We got down to what, like a couple hundred yards from the bottom of the draw,
Mhm.
and it was what, like noon, 1
Yeah,
o'clock.
noonish. Yeah, around that time.
And we were sitting there thinking, well, if we're gonna wait for this bear, it's probably gonna be another 8 hours.
Yep,
It was
Yep.
so hot.
it was so hot.
And I think the sun was right on us too
Mhm.
at that
There
point.
was no shade on that hillside except if we could have went back up to the top and
'Cause
camped
we're-
out for a while, but
Yeah,
that's what we should have done.
yeah, but still, that was such a deep draw.
Yeah.
And the fact that we never caught it, if we would have caught a glimpse of it, I think it would have caught our interest a little bit more to stick around.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we never saw it,
Yeah, it stayed in that deep nasty hole. If we would have went down there right when it first started making noise,
it
if
probably
we would've
snuck
just-
out.
Yeah.
Because it was weird because
It did
you
for a
know,
while.
I heard it for a while too.
Mhm.
You know, you were like, "Oh, there's a bear down there," and it was like the faintest noise at first,
yeah,
and then like the lower we dropped in there.
Just feel like my wife or my child rolling something above us
Nah.
on the main
that's
floor.
thunder. There's a thunderstorm.
Thunder
folks.
rolls.
Man, I literally
anyhow.
thought like for that first ridge that we passed right there where Chris and Brett were and they were looking down at a bear right there. I thought that was going to be it. You know,
Oh, I
like,
totally did too. Like right off the bat.
They
when
were
we
right
first got
there,
in.
and I was just like, in my head, I'm like, why is he taking so long, man? I'm like, I want Chris to shoot a bear already. Damn it!
That
Like,
was definitely a money spot.
it was
too.
sick. That was a good spot, and
That
just
was-
like
That was one that we haven't shot a bear there yet. On that one.
That was the same spot where you guys jumped a bear the year before.
Yes,
I could have shot.
but it was before. It
was
was
pretty
before.
far.
It was before you drop into that draw, because it was on the corner and it was down off the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was when you come out in the opening.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that's where me and Chris had a huge rodeo. Like the next
Bears
couple days
everywhere,
dude,
folks.
Bears were everywhere,
Yeah.
even bear in the air.
I hunted my ass off all week
Yeah.
and saw one bear, and these guys show up for 2 days, and
yeah.
bears everywhere.
I
packing
mean, it was
bears.
me and Doug 4 days, no bears. Don't know.
Listen,
Go set up a camera.
He had the
Brett
best
shoots
views.
a bear right in the same
Dude.
spot.
All right, so the crazy part about that, when we went and we scouted that whole area, and I know you changed your
Yeah.
trail camera right there.
Yeah.
I was with Brett, and I was like, dude, I know there's activity right here because like Doug said so, and we looked at the cameras,
Oh, yeah.
and you could see the berries and all this stuff. It was still
There was-
active. There was
there
like
was-
an elk that ran
there
through there or
was-
something.
Well, there was that, but there was also like paths. Like, you know how you see like a game trail, right? And that thick stuff, you can kind of tell what's been walking through there.
Right.
Well, when it's like 2.5 foot wide,
Yeah.
you know there's Mondo bears walking in and
Yeah.
out of that berry patch.
Ooh, that's
and there's
give a pro tip right there, Doug.
pro tip.
Pro
Look
tip.
at the game trails. If they're nice and skinny, it's most likely a omnivore of some sort. If it's big and wide and it looks like it's all blown down, it's most likely a bear.
yeah. There's ways to tell
Or it could
what,
be a cow.
what size bear it is
It
too.
could be a heifer.
yeah.
There were
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of cows
that too.
out there. A lot of free range
At
cows.
least where we
yeah.
hunt, there's a lot of free range cows.
Free range
And you
cow.
got to know the difference because there's a lot of black free range cows moving through brush.
Yeah, you don't want to make the mistake.
So I always double check. I'll never shoot just something black in the brush.
Oh, you can up
No,
there.
because you'd be
You
like,
might end up shooting a cow. There's been multiple times you throw your rifle up and you're like, God, it's just a dang heifer.
yeah, it's crazy. That big bear that I shot, I think it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago now. Down the one that we told the story about packing across the hill and you showed up.
Yeah.
I thought that there was a chance that there was a heifer in there for a while because it was so big, you know. And
Yeah.
then when it popped out, I was like, "Oh man, is that a bear? That thing's huge." I was like, hopefully it's not a heifer. And then I put my scope on. I was like, "Oh, it's a bear." But
It's so
it was in the
weird
thick
how like
brush.
the cows don't really even care.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
they
even
they get
think
used to
about
it. So that time of year, during like the springtime, yeah, they're gonna be way more nervous around bears.
Yeah.
But that time of year, when the bears are just focused on berries,
Yeah.
they don't really give them
And
much
they're
thought.
they're not really coming out in the open either, probably as
No,
much.
no.
You know, they're
The
staying
bears
in
just
that
kind of
thick
move.
stuff.
They just kind of move through the brush most of the time.
Yeah,
They pop out here
mosey
and there and move to the next draw, and that's it. Like, and
Yeah.
they'll stay in the shade. They're not going to go out in the open hillsides very often unless they're moving somewhere to somewhere else.
Yeah.
But all right, T, I want to hear a Te'Shawn story here.
Okay.
So
A
Or-
Te'Shawn story from with us.
I don't know,
or-
just-
yes, I want to hear
Okay.
it from T's perspective.
Okay.
a point of view of Te'Shawn
Yes.
All right. Cool.
of
So-
Bear Country Outdoors.
Give first of all, why don't you give the listeners and the watchers a good little rundown of what the day in the life with the Bear Country crew is like in
Oh,
your
boy.
eyes?
In my
All right, guys,
eyes,
buckle
okay.
in.
So obviously, what you see on the internet, you see these like Mondo dudes like going hard at everything, living in little tents in the worst conditions, and just saying that they got to do everything and be hardcore. And the other times, you see a bunch of people that are just wannabes and stuff like that. These guys are neither. They're what they are. So they do work hard for sure. They
We're a
do what they
mixture
got to
of
do.
Both is what you're trying to say.
But you're not. It's not that you guys are nobody or something. You guys literally like know how to enjoy hunting without the fluff. And a lot of people are like doing all this crap on there just trying to be somebody when you guys are just trying to figure out how to make it better, not only for the hunting experience for yourself, but other people that are watching you. You know,
Yeah.
you're not promoting fake things and just fluff you up. I'm around people all the time that do this. It's just, it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. And you'll see that like as you go, and it's like you guys aren't wearing all the most expensive stuff. I mean, if you have it, you have it, but it's like you're not worried about that. I've seen you guys
No.
drop bears, and it didn't matter what you were wearing or what you were doing. You knew what you needed to do in the moment. So it was like, okay, these guys, they get it. They're not trying to prove a point to everybody exactly in
No.
that way. So
Basically,
we have a motto.
basically, we've been doing the same shit for the last 20 plus years.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
with trying to get it on camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It
make
just-
something out of it.
it just started becoming like really
Yep.
cool or popular in a way because the internet and how things are at the moment, everybody
Yeah.
wants to be seen.
Right.
You guys want to hunt.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else
100%.
wants to be seen.
We
Because
have-
I know they're not getting nothing.
So we have a motto, right? It's obviously it's stay humble, hunt hard, right? But we have a motto amongst ourselves.
What's the matter with you?
The motto amongst
border.
ourselves most of the time is we don't give a shit.
Pretty much.
I like that.
If you watched a couple of episodes with me, you know we don't give a shit.
Oh, man.
And I think like there's something to that. Like people can spot fake from a mile away, right? And we're not here to be fake. We're here to be ourselves and do our
Yeah.
thing. And there's not a lot of theatrics. There's not a lot of planning. Like
No.
none of this is
If
planned.
this shit ain't fun, I don't want to do it anymore.
No,
Right.
right?
You know? Like, that's the only reason why I do it, because this shit's a blast.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
So, like, to your point, that's why, like, I'd say personally for me, why I came back, even though I'm like, I am not the most prepared person ever, but it's like, and especially being in Texas, everything's landlocked. But it's like, I feel like I got a leg up on everybody else because I'm getting a bunch of experience in the backcountry stuff that they're not while you're doing this. So
It's
when I
completely
decide to
different environment.
do that, like it's there for me, you know. But like being in Texas is obviously a lot easier, you know. Everything's a lot smaller, so there's that. And
What? You're telling me everything in Texas is smaller? I thought
as
everything
far
was
as
bigger in
it's bigger,
Texas.
but they
That's true.
own more, you know. Yeah, the food's bigger, the women are bigger, you know. I don't want them.
T's getting them
Words
You know,
coming out,
see.
boys.
See, because like you know, I know what a bear looks like, but
Yeah.
you don't like what they look like in Texas. You don't want that. You
A
know,
little scraggly.
you know. No,
They
not
They
scraggly.
look a little mangy.
Look like a little roly-polies everywhere, you know? It's not that. When you like talk about you saw a heifer and you think it's a bear, I see a lot of heifers.
Yeah, I'm
And,
sure you do
and,
down in
and-
Texas.
But
I'm gonna say
Are
you're
you
going.
gonna Steven Ranellis there, Chris?
No, I was just thinking like how far away from home he's going. Like when
yeah,
we go up north,
compared to everybody else.
and it's gonna be like 2,200 miles north
yeah.
From here or from Texas?
from Texas.
From
yeah.
Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I, saw
that's
that,
awesome.
I saw that there was a bunch of fires up in BC.
Don't put that shit on me, Doug.
You're not
Nah,
going to
where
BC.
Chris
though,
is
Yeah,
so
Alberta's
what's it
the
Well, we
next
got to
one
drive
over,
through,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So that I think so. Where we're at, we're in like
What's up, dog?
if you're on the internet and you're not knowing where we're at, we're like an hour north Seattle.
Where are we?
Up an hour north Seattle.
Are we an hour north or
We're-
something like an hour and a half?
Yeah, you know what? Let me
Hour north
back
of
that up.
liberal
Right?
land.
Back that up.
I shouldn't even mention Seattle because that place is a shithole.
No, you know what? I call it. Devin started making these stickers, and it's the best sticker. It's a trash can with the silhouette of Seattle coming out of it. It
Oh,
says
yeah.
Trash City.
Oh,
I'm like, well,
Dang.
yeah.
the shoe fits. Wear it.
So we're on the Puget Sound. So we're in Stanwood right now, right? So we're gonna take I-5 north, and the border is probably an hour and change.
Probably
north.
not even that. Probably 45
Hour.
minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe less. Yeah.
So we're gonna go up through BC and cut across, like over to Edmonton, I think, and then north up towards Fort McMurray in Alberta. But I mean, it's like it's up there. It's
How
deep.
far?
It's
Way out
it's
there.
deep. So So I'm not a typically, obviously, when you look at this, I'm like, I'm not a guided hunt kind of guy. You have to when you go to Africa. So that's like, so this is my first like legit guided hunt ever,
Other than Africa.
other than Africa. Yeah. So
I'm excited for you.
yeah, I'm excited. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's a totally different experience than what you've probably ever done.
Yeah. And depending on how the next couple weeks go, we might be coming out with a new shirt. It'll say Murder Patrol on it. It's going to have my face with just a stack of bears.
Jeez.
It's just gonna be a pile of bears.
Just a
on it.
pile of bears, yeah. Just
We could just call it bear pile. How about that?
Bear pile.
Oh,
Oh,
it's-
bear pile.
oh,
You
that's
can
a
call
good
it
shirt.
bear palsy.
Hashtag trademark.
Hashtag trademark. Hashtag.
So I'm really excited. I'm excited to go up there with T. He gets to see something like. Have you ever been up there?
No, I
No, I
haven't
mean-
even been out the country yet. Everybody else in my family has except me.
Oh,
So
boy.
this is the first.
I wonder. Well, we'll see
Man,
what happens
I
at
really
the
wish I
border.
could go with you, Chris.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It's
You're gonna hear a lot of A's. A.
Oh,
Hey.
dude.
Welcome to Canada.
ready.
A.
You're just gonna hear me saying like, "Man, I want to shoot one." Like,
Don't
that's
you
all.
know?
I think
Yeah.
the
Be me all
outfitter
day.
probably say, "What are you talking about?"
Boot, yeah.
Oh man, I might laugh. I want to see
I
if
don't
they
know.
really put maple
Are they
syrup
French
in their
Canadian
coffee.
up there? Or
Oh,
they
man.
like?
Maple syrup is like everything to them.
Jeez, way to stereotype, Doug.
You gotta brush
Derek.
up on that French, man.
Hey, you're not going to Quebec, eh?
What is it?
There's
in
great
Letterkenny?
fishing in
There's,
Quebec.
what's it? The up north people? What are they? They're French Canadian, right?
Something like that.
What?
On Letterkenny.
Yeah, the DGens from up north.
Yeah.
When they're fishing in Quebec.
Oh yeah,
In
yeah,
Quebec.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They
the
had
French
the freaking
Canadian.
spitting
Yeah, yeah.
contests over there.
Yeah. By the way, I absolutely love Letterkenny. If you haven't watched
Best
it, you
show
should
ever.
watch it. It's a great show. It's hilarious. If you have little kids, do not watch it with your child. there is
It's adult only.
many of the cusses.
Yep. It's a hilarious show.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. But I'm really excited to go up there. I'm excited to go with like the group of guys I'm going with. There's a couple guys. So like the guy who originally invited me, I was talking to the guide and I was like, hey, I'm bringing a buddy with me, He likes to drink a lot of beer. And he's like, well, he's not going to outdrink so-and-so, the guy who invited me. And I was like, does he drink that much beer? And so we're going to find out how much beer they drink.
Well,
Up in,
Oh, man.
might
Oh,
have
boy.
recorded.
but here's another pro tip. I don't know if it's as good as Doug's, but it's still a good pro tip. If you if you're
All of my tips are good.
if
Talk
you
about.
if you like drinking beer or having cocktails at night, like hunting bears is perfect because they're like fat guys. Like they don't like getting up early in the morning, right? It's like a brunch type of thing,
Yep.
It's brunch or late evening.
Yeah,
I feel
brunch,
like it's
late evening.
yeah, and then they're gonna sleep
enough.
during the day, right? They're going to eat some brunch. They're going to take some naps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, late evening. Like,
I mean, I don't even know if I've ever caught a bear at first light. I can't remember ever shooting one at first light or.
I think a couple like over by where they used to dump all those problem bears I was telling you guys about.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's a different. Those are like they're on like
They
testosterone replacement
they
stuff.
don't know what to do.
Yeah, they're just all
I've shot
jacked
plenty
up.
of them middle of the day, late morning.
Oh yeah, late morning. Yeah,
Late morning usually.
late morning right before dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then most of the bear, like I'd say a high majority is like late evening, the golden hour I call it.
I'd
the
say
last
it's like
hour of daylight.
I'd say it's a 30-70 split.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. There's a pro tip for you guys.
Pro tip.
hidden.
Yeah,
Most bears
Unless
get
you
shot
go,
in the
unless
evening.
you go run them out of wherever they're at early in the morning.
Give them glaucoma.
Glaucoma.
I'm like notorious for that, man. I'm waiting for the day.
Oh man.
Like I have one camera in one hand, a Glock in the other, man. I'm ready to go.
I think that's going to touch on one of our. I don't think we're going to talk about it this podcast, but we are going to talk about giving bears glaucoma and what type of glaucoma we should give them.
Great.
Like 9mm glaucoma or 10mm glaucoma
Or 460.
or
glaucoma.
Doug. We're gonna put that one in the bucket. It's in the back seat because I know that one of your best friends is a Taurus man now. Have you seen that on his post on the Granda? Adam Granda. Now he's all tied in with the Taurus. Maybe he's going to be ripping a 460. I know he's a 454 guy, like myself. But, yeah, I think he's going to be shooting the new 460 or the new 454.
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
Adam, are you going to upgrade to the 460? We don't know.
Not
Yeah.
before me.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll have a
We'll have a quick straw McGraw type of deal.
yeah. Unfortunately, we won't be bringing those to Canada because Justin Trudeau's a piece of shit. So
He said no more handguns like he was Jesus or something.
What do you wait while we're in it? What do you think about Inslee?
are you gonna bleep me out?
I'll back you up after you're done. I got you.
I dislike him very much, and I think he is of poor character.
There you go.
Oh, well said, Chris.
Well said.
Thank you for the pain and agony of the editing later.
Well,
You can throw Bob Ferguson in there because I think he's X2 of that. But back to T, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
here.
Ask T a question. A good one.
Anything.
So I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching you on the internets, and I've noticed you've been doing some stuff with some big names lately.
Yep.
Some big names. Why don't you tell me about how? I want to know a couple things.
Okay.
I want to know all about that process, but I want to know, like, how did you even get in the door? Because I'm talking like big name companies. Like, how did that happen? Tell me about that.
Okay, so I think you're talking about like Blazer specifically, right?
110%.
So, funny enough, a few years ago, I went to this like agriculture kind of class thing. My sister never had clients before doing photography. So she's into plants and all that stuff and the herbal medicine kind of thing. So they have a little area close to my job where they have a community farm. So they teach people about how to grow their own crops, chicken husbandry, and all that stuff. And so we went, and I made a deal with her. I said, if they let you shoot the event, I'll come in there and I'll shoot a video for free. So I was showing her how to do that and how to network and all that. And so I saw one guy, he was cooking outside, just started a fire and all that stuff.
Some
I'm like,
chicken
all right, cool.
or
No, he was making some like wild game or something. I didn't know at the time. So we went up, talked to him and all that stuff. And he was like really, really good talker and all this kind of stuff, right? What are you guys doing over here?
I don't know.
Weirdos.
James giving me weird signals over here.
No,
I was like,
okay. You guys are about to make me laugh, dude.
I was trying to be
Okay.
like, I was trying to be like, Doug, tap taste on the leg. I was touching
You fucking idiots.
I was touching Doug's leg, and he's like looking at me. Like,
Okay. All right.
you
Slow
said
down.
chicken
I was
husbandry and
touching-
then cooking, and I'm hungry now.
I know we're family, but
Hey.
I mean, come on, man.
So
Sorry, Te'Shawn.
Sorry to
it's all
interrupt.
good.
Sorry
I
for the
just saw
interruption.
you
Oh,
guys.
man.
Really?
I was like, he's
So-
shaking the table.
Sorry.
I think it was my face. You just couldn't. You couldn't.
So
yeah.
literally with that, I talked to the guy and he was like, "Yeah, this is the meal that we're having because he preps it for everybody and because he has his own business. It's called Gastronomy. Now he has it like Gastronomy Outdoors. So he does events where he does the catering and all that stuff.
He's on the Instagrams, right?
Yeah, and so you'll know who he is.
Yeah.
And so what he does is he actually gets the wild game that he shoots and stuff like that and serves it to people and exposes a culinary side to it. Shows the educational purpose of it for adults and then also children with school events. So he'll do stuff even on a scientific level where it's like you'll get a kid that doesn't like broccoli, but he'll use this little device or whatever that vibrates in a high enough frequency that you'll like it to equivalent how you eat like dark chocolate or something like that. So he understands the science between merging your taste buds with stuff and getting you to understand where your food where it comes from all these angles.
That's pretty cool.
And so I found out at that point that he's a hunter. And so when we were talking about that, we were talking about hog hunting and all that. And before then, I was like, man, I want to hunt. I didn't get a chance to hunt yet. Didn't make the time, whatever. And so, you know, my sister is like a culinary artist. And so we started talking to him about the culinary side. And I started talking about the hunting side. So all that stuff you forget about, whatever. You know, like, hi, shake hands, whatever. We'll link up one day or whatever. I wanted to just show my sister how to talk to people.
Right.
Which then later turned into... we ended up being cool when I started hunting. I really started hunting after my grandpa died. So I was like, okay, I got to do this. Because he was a guy that was hunting and all that stuff. And he just never took me. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I go fishing and stuff, but I wanted to hunt. So that's where the beard comes from, too. Because he has the same one.
It's growing in real nice, by the way.
So, man, it's a lot of work, man.
Oh, it looks
good. A lot
good.
of soil, a lot of water.
You putting like some product in there? You got some,
Yeah,
you
just
got
like shea butter and tea tree oil. That's it,
Okay,
man.
all right.
Keep it
Everyone's got a beard thing now, like a. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
I got a pick. I just use a regular pick like for your afro.
You should be. I don't have an afro, so I gotta.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could be like
All
Bob
right,
Ross.
guys, we're getting sidetracked just
Okay.
like normal.
It's got. You should watch. He's got a great beard. Is all I'm trying to say. Like everyone has like
It took
beard
effort
product
to get
things.
here, man. I didn't
You
even
should
know
get
I could grow
sponsored
one.
by a beard company. Is all I'm saying.
I should try. You never know.
It's a great beard.
Maybe Grizzly Puncher.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. What is his beard product stuff? Is it Grizzly Puncher?
Yeah.
Is it?
We'll check him
I'm
out.
the
I hit him
Grizzly Puncher.
up. Is that a real brand? or
yeah,
is it
dude.
just like-
It's the real brand.
oh, they need me then. I need my.
So
Oh, man.
Caleb Francis, right?
Caleb Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
man.
It's not
Yeah, he's
his
in
brand.
San
I think he's
Antonio,
just
too.
like affiliated with them or sponsored by them or something. Anyway,
I'll check
major
it
sidetrack. You
Yeah.
continue on.
Great
Keith.
beard.
So
This is gonna be the
literally,
best episode
it went
yet.
on to the point where obviously I start hanging with people. I'm filming fishing and all that stuff. And then I worked with you guys. He saw some of that work. And we've always been cool over time, but just didn't find anything to connect about quite yet. And then when I went and did the film with you guys and then put the social media content up, and then what else did I do? I did something. Probably went duck hunting or something like that. People start asking me to go. So I'm just keep posting. He's like, hey, man, like you should come out to this event I'm doing. It was like Oktoberfest or something. But this Oktoberfest was for like trap shooters and stuff, like those competitive, like with the over-unders. And where I live at is down the road, like literally 5 minutes from the National Shooters Association. So I hear guns going off all the time. And like everybody from around the world comes there. Like, I didn't know this.
Huh.
So he's catering for Blaser because he worked with them for years. And he was their game chef for some of their trips and a couple others. And he's like, dude, come down here. You should like come down. I'll introduce you and all that stuff. So that happened right there. And there's like a CEO on state side of Blaser. I met him and the marketing manager at the same time. I'm over here helping them like slang beers and stuff like that. I was just really just coming to hang out, but like something happened where like, you know, you got the keg and you put it in the back of the truck and that's a no-no. It's shaking around everywhere. You get no good beer. And it was like good German beer. So they couldn't get that. So they had to get like shiner or whatever. So I'm helping them get everything around. Everything's a disaster. At the end of the night, I'm talking to everybody, the staff that's in there, and I get in touch with the marketing manager, kind of basically do a consultation on the spot about their social media and how they can improve it. And I showed her the work specifically with you guys in there.
Nice.
So like the one where you had the nunchucks with the meat sticks. I did show that, but you had the jet boil first. And then your 28 nozzler was in there, and that like basically sealed the deal. So that took a few months. And pro tip
alert.
when you work with big brands and there's money involved, it stretches over time. Like the bigger the amount, the more time it probably takes, depending on what they got going on. Plus, it was like the
more bullshit you got to deal with.
Well, not really. It was like they were in the fourth quarter too, so they gotta do what they gotta do and measure their budgets for next season.
You know what I hear right now? So I got this thing with my savings account and my checking account.
Yeah,
and,
basically, they didn't have the budget to it, but the CEO liked what I had, but he didn't, quite. He was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He didn't care about social media that much, and kind of like the same thing we talked about before. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but so that happened, and then months later, January, February rolls around. I'm literally out duck hunting. Is it good? It should be good. I think I'm loud enough. I don't know. I literally went duck hunting, and I literally closed the deal over the phone. Like when we're like about to go, I got a cold. My allergies are bugging me. They got cats in the house. I'm trying to do some hardcore duck hunting. I don't care. But I'm like on the phone. I'm meeting my friend's mom for the first time. I'm on the phone. She's coming in and his girlfriend's coming in. I'm just like, hi. And I'm just like doing all this stuff, talking numbers and stuff. Locked in that deal, go duck hunting. And then when I come back a few weeks later, we made the video that you saw online happen right there. So
good. Did you blast some ducks on that trip, by the way?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did. But it was like the shitty ducks. It was like the Margensers. And I mean, I got a couple teal, but Margensers were like everywhere. And we just had a field day with them, man. It was intense.
The flies, it dies.
Yeah,
This is where we get real controversial when I say all ducks taste like shit. You just grind them up and make pepperoni sticks out of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they feed them to the dogs or something like that.
Out.
Yeah. So that's how that happened. And then I've been trying to leverage doing more with other brands like ever since. So, there's stuff down the line. Like
It looked really good.
Yeah.
It looked really good.
That was actually the second try too, because the first one I screwed it up. I had my camera in time-lapse mode. So it just sped through the whole thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, we got to shoot this again. And I'm like, that costs a lot of money for that shoot.
Right.
And they're already looking at the footage on the lens right there and like, oh my God, it looks amazing. I'm confident. I'm like, yeah. Get home. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And just, the second time I went around, that was the second time right there and we just killed it. So that's how that worked.
Nice.
That's cool. Filmography is definitely a piece of art.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's a reason we were talking earlier before the podcast about like just the whole scope of all this stuff that we're doing too. And I was like, yeah, like 20 years ago, I packed around a handy cam before like social media and all this crap.
Right.
And I filmed shit tons of stuff getting blasted. And we went on the incredible hunts and all this stuff and it just didn't pan out, right? Like, cause there was, number one, I didn't have the skill set, right? And there wasn't all of this
The technology.
yeah. I got a handy. I'm literally opening the side up and pulling a cassette tape out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing what my old man was doing.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like, I kill all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And so now it's just so much easier because you can just pull out your cell phone and just boop, 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 and then send it to you.
Yeah.
James did it in like 3 seconds when we were starting the podcast. You know.
Yeah.
So I think that having someone that knows how to do that and is super proficient at it, and that's why T's here, and I'm super excited. Did we talk about the film?
We can. We should.
should.
At some degree, you should talk about what it's about at least, or what it's for. I don't know.
Shit.
Keep it on the
I
down
guess.
low,
I
or-
don't know.
I'd say
Chris
a little
already-
something.
Chris already lit the hatch.
Can I get it? Can
Oh,
I sum it up?
we can build it up.
You want me to sum it up, or you wanna tell?
You go
Who
ahead, T.
is going to describe it the best? I guess we should say.
I've been called the songbird of
Okay.
my generation.
I'll let you guys decide. I'm gonna get another.
We'll
drink.
let T
There's,
give his take on it.
There's a reason that we have Te'Shawn here. Like, so everyone films stuff with their cellular telephone.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair statement. And everyone puts stuff on the Instagrams and the YouTubes, and it's super easy. But when you want like a super high end, very professional product,
Cinematic.
yeah, I want IMAX shit, and that's why T's here, because I'm going to spend a bunch of money on just being places, like going on these guided hunts, taking time off of work, taking time away from my family, and I want the absolute best product that I can squeeze out of this time, right? And I think that me with my cell phone and my skill set of editing, which is literally zero, doesn't equate to getting what I want out of that, right? And I'm never going to get this time back. Like we're all on borrowed time. We don't know when our expiration is, right? So I think that to get the absolute best out of every second that we can, there's professionals. Like, I mean, we're all professionals here, right? We all do different jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm winging it through bear country here, right? But
You're so modest, Chris.
I think that having T here, being able to capture all of our adventures and compiling them into something that's going to be extraordinary at the end of the year, beginning of next year, is going to knock people's socks off. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be worth your time. Stay tuned.
Yeah, 100%.
Stay
Well said.
tuned.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was good.
We're gonna leave it at that.
I think it just, we're going to play a little game called Just a Tip.
Just a tip. I like it.
I like that.
Oh boy.
I guess just to say, like,
Stay
this,
tuned, folks.
just to add to the top of it, it's like basically what this is gonna be is we're taking the fluff out of what people are making and trying to bring truth to the light about hunting and why it matters. Not to just make you guys like look cool and stuff, but to really tell a message about people who do this, whether you do high expensive hunts or you just try to do it budget friendly, and what it means for like non-hunters and all that. Like, we're trying to hit every aspect as we can that's valuable.
Have the most fun as possible.
Yeah.
That's right.
And like how you can still have fun even though you're competing against your own state, in other bordering states and countries, and what it takes to go through and do this, just to be able to make a sustainable, like, not living, but I mean like to enrich your lives and your family's lives, to make sure that they're eating good and keep it organic as it truly should be, not just like how it is at the stores. Like, you're taking the extra mile to do that, and many have stated it that way before, but you don't see the common man get to do it. We always get to see big names with pretty faces and whatever unique tags that they're getting. The most common people aren't getting that. At most, people can get some of these hunts that you guys are doing.
One way they're getting them.
So you want to hop on that? Because
It's called.
oh yeah,
This.
A lot of
yeah.
that.
Doug's doing the rub his fingers together. If you're not watching this, and I think that means he's got glue on his fingers.
Yep.
He's trying to rub it off.
Super glue.
He got the internet's monies.
Yeah. Some people get those benefits and stuff like that, but it's like, I want to show, for me personally, like me and James talk about this, but for me personally, I want to show that we can do it without all the extra help. That you can make something epic and show that people can go on these kind of adventures too, and what it truly means at the end of the day. It doesn't take a bunch of money. It doesn't take all the...
We've been doing that our
whatever.
whole lives.
Yeah. And not a lot of people get to see that. Because like now we got the internet, which is cool. It's like the best and worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
amen to
But
that.
people are recording their hunts and stuff like that, and that's fine. You could do that with your cell phone, throw it up. But you want to see something that means something to people, like people can relate to. I don't think I want to see any more hunts of like rare, once in a lifetime stuff where not a lot of people are gonna go and do it. They can't relate to that.
Right.
You know, so
I like watching them occasionally, but I'm more apt to like, I'll be scrolling through and like, you know, we all do it. Like you got a channel or something that you like and maybe you haven't caught up in a while and you go through and like, I'll do it with Meat Eater or whatever. And I'll go through and pick out like, I'll look and be like, no, not like Nalgai or whatever. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that.
No
I
guy.
don't want to see this. No, I don't want to see a duck hunt. I don't want to, okay. And then I'm like, oh, mule deer hunt or like, you know,
Yeah.
a bear hunt or
You're
something
right.
like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, let's watch this one first. And then I pick through, you know, and then
If I got to watch another GD wild whitetail hunt, ugh. If I'm gonna watch a whitetail hunt, I'm not gonna lie. I like if I'm gonna people. I like the people, right? So
Right.
like Lee and Tiffany Lukoski, I like them.
I mean, they got the perfect setup. I mean, shit.
They work the
I would
farm,
love to have that.
and
Yeah.
they smash huge. And let's be honest, like I want to see
Well,
some.
when you live in Iowa, I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, there's huge bucks everywhere out there.
I want to see smashers. Like it's like professional sports, and people talk about like, oh, should people steroids? Yeah, give everyone steroids. I want to see. I want to show up. I want to see home
Go
runs.
back to the 90s, guys.
My
Where
God.
I
everyone
want
was
to see
hitting
guys.
dingers.
I want to see guys jump from the 3-point line and
Mark
dunk.
McGuire's.
yeah, exactly.
Some
Mark
Barry
McGuire.
Bonds.
Yep.
Yeah, like I want let's give them all the drugs. Who gives a shit, right? We're here to be
Yeah.
entertained. You know, I want to see some cool stuff.
Are you not
Yeah, so
entertained?
yeah, like at the end of the day, the point to that is like, I want to see stuff where like guys are really doing it and still make it look epic and cinematic.
Yeah,
Right.
Instead of people sneaking coming down to Texas and saying like, "Oh, these are the best." You know what? We know it's private land and you paid for that. Like,
Right.
stop it.
Yeah.
Like, it's annoying.
the fence time.
You know, like
And
if I don't mind if you're doing it.
I'm
Just-
not opposed to that
Yeah.
whatsoever. Just don't like be like, oh,
Yeah, so don't be
I've
phony.
been creeping through the woods, and it's like it's that whole
Yeah.
you know, like sneaky hunting.
Man, that does bother me too.
Yeah.
Like what you're talking about when there's like people from wherever, you know, people come in from all over and they hunt Texas, right? And they're like, yeah, this week we're gonna
Well,
be
yeah, it's
hunting
the
real
whitetail
hard,
state of the
and we're
country.
doing
Yeah.
this and we're doing that, and you're like, you know, damn well you're on a private ranch, and there's
Oh.
like these, you're looking for specifically huge bucks, like
Yeah.
oh,
like I don't want, I
Well,
don't, that
let's
does
just-
not get me
Let's just put it
going.
this way: Texas has like a third of the whitetail population in the country,
Yeah,
Which
I
is
know.
true.
which is like over 35 million.
Yeah, I shot one of those nice Texas whitetails, and you know what?
Oh, was
It tasted good. It was
a dandy buck.
I shot it on not on a private ranch. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a private ranch, but it wasn't like it was all free range,
Yeah.
like no
Yeah.
high fence.
it was a freaking
And there's
smasher.
quite a few
Yeah.
of those out there, but like at the end of the day, what we're
Tiny
saying
ass deer,
is
though.
we don't mind if you hunt private land, but stop faking like
Like it's
you aren't.
yeah,
Okay, that's literally it. Because a lot of times, what I'm seeing, and I know this just for some people, not all, is that when
Oh, man.
when you lose anywhere else, you come to Texas. So
I like
Te'Shawn's
that.
jumping on the bear country.
Sorry,
outdoors
like,
and
I
throwing
already
people
know
under
what
the
it
bus,
is.
guys.
Yep.
I already know what it is.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club,
If I was
Te'Shawn.
0-4 everywhere I went, I'd come to Texas too. But don't fake it.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Like,
Tayshawn's getting shadow banned, guys.
nah.
No.
Hey, I get to go on these
you know,
ranches for free,
this
so I
isn't
don't care.
shadow ban. This is cancel culture. Okay,
I don't care what it
Cancel
is.
culture.
yeah.
I already
Oh,
want to
man.
beat up all the other videographers that do this stuff. There's only like 2 that I like. So it's like, and they're just sitting there making, man, whatever.
Fist fight.
All right,
It wasn't
fight.
Yeah.
the bum fight guy.
I would win those fights too, by the
We'll
way.
get one for videographers instead of bum fights, be film fights.
T would hold up pretty good against videographers. There's not
Oh, I
a lot
can
of.
fight.
Pretty stout.
There's a
can
handful
fight.
of
Pretty
dudes
stout.
out there that are probably pretty solid, but most
Yeah, yeah. It's
pretty-
it's
I don't
like
know.
at the
I
end
don't
of the
know
day.
a lot of videographers.
dainty.
I know-
I don't know. I feel like a lot of them have maybe gauged ears or like.
Nah, yeah, no.
Maybe-
I mean, you got your stuff. You
I
got
don't know.
your ones that are like the free spirited ones that never did it, and then
Yeah,
they
like
just, like
the
fall right
kind of like
into it.
hippie ones that are like
Yeah,
living
they're-
out of a van.
because they basically
Down by
already
By the river.
yeah they basically already live out west, and of course they're
These
gonna
two,
pick
Jim.
them. And I'm in Texas, so it makes sense to get them around there. But I'm watching how they're doing the content, and it's just not that good yet. Like the direction of it, like, you know, with some brands, like I was telling James here, like some of the marketing managers, they have to deal with multiple companies at once. They can't do it all. They're wearing themselves thin, and it's just like there's this thing called UGC, user generated content where now they're using a fraction of their budget with influencers to get their content out there. And that's like, obviously the bottom line is to be able to sell units and make their money. So it's, you get any Joe Schmo up there making stuff and it's all short form.
We're trying to make them contents.
Oh yeah, we'll get that. It's easy.
I heard the internet is paying dollars.
Oh, big dollars.
But we're yet to see those dollars.
Big dollars.
We've almost made $1.
Yes,
We're almost $1
Yeah.
plus.
You know what? Thanks for all of you folks out there that have helped us make that first $1.
Yeah. Hey,
Right.
Off
You
the
got-
internet.
you know how to eat an elephant, right? One freaking bite at a time.
That's right.
Hopefully this next film you'll get $2.
Yeah, at least $2 on the first. Hopefully the first
It's gonna
day.
be good. It's gonna be good.
I
This
can't wait
film
to
is
start
gonna be
Better
promoting
be
it.
good.
So
No
I'm
pressure,
gonna ask you.
Tayshawn.
I'm gonna ask you a
Ask me
question so that
whatever.
you can kind of give a little sneak peek to the viewers. Like, what are we looking at here? What if you could compare what you're trying to match to like any film out there that people would know, or like
Ooh, that's
a level? What are we trying to hit? What mark are we trying to hit on this one?
Avatar.
okay.
James
great.
Cameron,
That's a
you
great
want to
one.
come on board?
Hey, that'll be more like if we go to South Africa. You might have to keep me off of there.
boy.
Let's go.
Yeah. I might find those blue bunnies out there. I'm ready to go, man. Buffalo, man. Sorry, dude.
Doug's gonna have to edit that one out now.
It's all good, boys. It's all fun and games.
No, but wait, what was the question?
The question was, what level are we trying to hit? Like, if something relatable that people
All right, so
can,
basically, I want it to be on the level of like Everly Stock's video that they did recently at Sheep Show.
That was a dandy, by the way.
Yeah, I was editing the B-sides for that video when that happened, so that's a whole other backstory right there.
That looks really good.
But I want it to be at that level right there. Obviously, we watched the Cam Hanes video. I watched that a lot. That one made sense because there's not a lot of.
We Were Wolves.
No, I haven't seen it.
You
Once
need to
We
see
Were
it.
Wolves.
You need to
Is it
see it.
Once
It
We
was
Were
good.
Wolves. Yeah.
It was really
we
good.
Were, no, I like We Were Wolves better.
Cam Hanes didn't want to release it.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was
Because-
like they had a gun in their
'Cause he
bear hunt.
cries.
He for him, the way he does things, he does not
He
want it
didn't
to
want to
be.
put the animal down with a gun.
Yeah.
I've been
After he
hammered
shot
on
it.
like 8 podcasts, and I didn't want to put any of them out, but all you dickheads put them out. So
Yeah,
you
but
know,
hey, I
like, here
mean,
we are.
it's all good. But no,
Not that
that's
kind
what
of
happened.
hammered.
It was a good one, and I think it was unique because you don't see a lot of bear hunts at scale like that, and I want to be more in that space because everybody's eyes are being more open to bear hunting. And also, even though like it's popular to hunt elk and all that stuff, and now these states are starting to switch and be like, now it's a draw and all that. So what's the next thing that they can afford?
Right.
Bears. So
They're pretty tasty too.
you know,
They are.
because everybody, the misconception is like if it got claws and paws, don't eat it at all. And now that that's changing, I feel like more films like that can enter that space where people don't think it's like taboo and like they see some actual value in it. So actually shout out to Cam Hanes and them for setting the tone that way. So this is now
What up, Cam?
we can do this.
It's okay you cried, and
Yeah.
it's okay that your guide had to finish the bear for you. I
Damn,
don't blame
son.
you.
I haven't seen
don't
it.
blame you at all. I would have let him do the same thing.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a Cam Hanes fan. I'm not gonna lie. I like
Dude,
the guy.
I watched that
I
video
don't know
5
if I'd be
times.
going in with a bow, full draw.
Yeah, it was
big ass bear.
It was
I can tell you
it was a
that.
wounded bear.
Yeah. that's
Oh,
what
I'm not.
crazy.
No, I'm not doing
Wounded
that.
Grizz.
That's
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like walks.
oh, is it
he like
Grizz?
walks up to it with his bow, and it's like trying to charge him, and then the guide
Oh.
shoots it, and he's
Oh.
like pissed at the guide. Like, why'd you shoot it? He's like, because it was gonna kill you, you idiot.
But to be fair to context, because the
James.
comments already ripped him apart, was that he wanted to keep it that way because if his destiny was to die, he already had accepted death.
No, he's basically
So-
saying he wanted to die from the grizzly bear. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just weird.
There's full
Called
circle
bullshit
moments
on
that
that.
happen in 2 or 3
Right.
ways in it. Like if you watch it, I dissected the video. Like I watched
Right.
it like 5 times.
Really?
But it's like,
I mean, if you're a real cowboy, you're shooting that thing in the face. Whatever you got, I don't care.
It was just, man. It was just. I don't think there was no way it could have. He probably could have escaped that, but
He would have died if the guy.
yeah,
didn't
he
shoot.
probably would have died.
I haven't seen it.
But I know he fully
he said
accepted.
He wanted to put it down with his bow. Like,
Right.
he
Because
didn't
that's the
wanna
only
use a
way he's
gun.
done it. He
But
never
he
had
couldn't,
that
'cause it's
happen
in, like,
before.
It's in that
It
like
was
vine
in
maple shit,
super
like the
thick
willow.
Yeah, it was
shit.
very thick.
Yeah, like where the bears go when they're wounded.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a 6-pack and be a billionaire, but tough shit, Chris.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe you need to carry a rock up and down the mountain.
I feel like in that situation, and if Cam listens, then you listen. I'm nothing against you, Cam. Okay.
like he's sitting at his house listening
he's
right
like-
now.
yeah.
He's,
He's
like
listening,
these
he's like,
bear
I get
country
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I just want him to know, like, I respect him as a hunter, and
Yeah,
and I'm
100%.
not like we can have a conversation, but I don't blame the guide one bit. And if it wasn't Cam Haines that had that happen to him, any guide up there after
Would've
he
done
was
the
like
same
through,
thing.
they would have done the same thing. And after the guy was like, "Why'd you do that?" and he was all pissed off, any Alaskan guide would have told him to shut the hell up and quit being a baby. And the guy's like, "Oh, I just had to, blah, blah, blah," But I'm like, it's because it was Cam Haines. He's just like, "Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I had to. It was gonna kill you." And
Well, we all get upset sometimes. You
Yeah.
just gotta.
Yeah. The cool thing though that
I thought the video was cool though.
Yeah, I did like it. But at the end
I
of
don't
the
think it
day,
was
he
smart to
accepted
go on
it really
videos like
quickly.
that,
Like he
but-
got over it. He was
Right.
like, "All right, there's other guys in this group. Like I can't even
Hot
be
dude,
that way."
you shoot
know?
a critter. I think all of us can attest to like the emotional connection when it's like the highs and the lows are like, I don't know what drugs are like, but it's like drugs. Like it's
Yeah.
like, nothing can elevate my emotions and suck the emotions out of my body more than hunting. Like there's nothing, like literally nothing. I think there's a lot of guys, like I got a couple buddies who are very well-to-do, right? And I think that they do go out in the woods for that feeling, for that, because it's like say you mastered business and you're a billionaire, right? Like what is there next? Like cocaine?
Right,
I don't know.
yeah.
Probably shouldn't do that, right? But you can go hunting and the emotional like roller coaster, it's like it's addicting,
Yeah.
it's like the lowest of lows to the highest of highs.
100%.
And it's so mentally, like the most.
Oh yeah,
It's the hardest
so
thing.
hard, too.
It's super hard.
Yeah,
To
100%.
keep your shit in check and to like in the moment and do what's right, and then sometimes you mess up and then having to deal, and it's all you.
Yeah.
And you always have to deal with yourself, like post win, post
And then
loss,
you're- and then
whatever.
You're dealing with elements too. Like some situations, you're not having the best, sleeping conditions.
some
it could be
dickhead
sleeping on a
cameraman like
rock or-
snores all night.
You're not getting any sleep, or you're freezing your ass off
Yep.
because you're not prepared. We've all been through that.
Hey,
Hey, you better bring
I'm
some
tired.
stuff on the Alberta hunt, otherwise we're gonna like
I don't know what to bring. I don't know how to.
soap in the sock, bro. We're gonna give you the
don't know.
business.
Did I snore super loud?
You got a powerful snore for a little man.
Oh man, I didn't even know. I need to make
You
sure I
got to bring
sleep
earplugs.
a certain way there. I don't
hey,
know.
Hey, good point. Maybe I just bring
Just
earplugs.
put the little
I
earplugs
don't
in.
know.
Just
Put a little earplugs in.
Yeah. I used to do that when I was a kid with my dad because my dad snores so
Oh,
loud.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
my
just be
dad's.
like-
my dad's. Oh, pro tip. Yeah, my dad snores like a.
I remember one year, speaking of
I think
that.
I'm really
'Cause
bad
he's
now,
going on that hunt,
because
too.
Cassie
So we
always
got.
does
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, bring earplugs.
Oh yeah.
So you guys better watch out.
Earplugs.
for
Pro
Doug.
tip: earplugs. One time when I was a kid, my dad was snoring so loud I couldn't find any earplugs, and I just wadded up toilet paper and shoved it in my ears.
There you go.
It didn't work very good, but I got a little bit.
It
of
helped a
sleep.
little bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Good earplugs are key.
Yeah.
If you can only get like the foam ones that you roll up, but I have some that like mold in and push in your ear that are super nice. I'm gonna bring those for sure. I can't
So-
remember the name of
Sounds
those.
too
I tell you.
fancy.
Real quick. Since we were talking about the Cam Haines thing,
Long
And-
story short. Long story
Here we go
short.
with the long story short, guys.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Chris. What do you gotta say?
what I was gonna say was, so those of you who haven't watched that film, you should watch it, even if you're not a big Cam Haines fan.
What was it on?
It's
YouTube.
It's on
On
YouTube.
YouTube,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's called Once We Were Wolves.
I haven't. I'll get
Like,
it on YouTube.
I knew he liked it because he didn't even pick up his phone once. He was glued. I fell asleep.
Views, Chris.
How much?
Yeah.
Like 500,000.
Dude, basically like
Like-
the same as our stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
Times infinity.
It should be. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got quite the marketing behind it. I mean, Cam Haynes
Yeah.
alone has over 1 million followers
Yeah.
on it. Like,
The guy's a
Instagram.
freaking
You got
machine,
dedicated
dude.
fans
Like,
for sure.
yeah.
But yeah, if we're trying to hit that quality, go check it out. And that's where our film should be,
Yeah.
if not more.
I'm
Actually,
su-
probably better, Hunty.
I'm super
Yeah.
excited about it.
Me
I
before.
think
There's gonna
that.
be about a dozen bears on it.
It
though.
was filmed and edited by Braylon Shockey.
Oh, I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
He was
I'm a
good.
big fan of the whole Shockey family.
Yeah. I mean, he had the best, like, he grew up in the best fashion, the best teacher. You know, he
Yeah.
filmed for his dad forever.
Yeah, Jim Shockey.
Jim Shockey was like one of the pioneers.
Jim
Yeah.
Shockey's a shit, man. Like, he is the nicest freaking guy. I know I said this before because I'm a huge like fanboy of Jim Shockey, but like, he's a good dude. He's just a good
Yeah.
guy, you know. And unfortunately, he's getting the shit kicked out of him right now up in Canada by
Yeah.
Trudeau. But shout out to Eva. Good job. You got dual citizenship. She's down here doing
Hell yeah.
doing her thing, so that's exciting. But yeah, no, solid family. Good work, Jim. Strong work.
Mm-hmm.
Love to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, you and
one of
Nana
these
Weezy,
days.
come on down. I'll put you up, feed you some wine, be good times.
Oh, listen to this guy.
Look at
Yeah.
that. You guys send a DM, man.
Yeah, I got a
That's
lot.
how it happens.
I have all the bedrooms.
All the bedrooms
Yeah.
Send in a DM right now.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, do it.
Jim
Right there.
Shockey, come down. He's only, 45 minutes, an hour away
Yeah,
from us?
Hand of Man
Yeah.
Museum's just up the road.
Like Vancouver Island.
Up
Just
the
jump.
road.
We literally just jump on the ferry there. In
Yeah,
the
no,
Andy
that's
Quarters.
Jump on the boat and
Yeah.
we'll go across.
Yeah, you can take it out of
What the
Anacortes, so
hell?
you can go up,
Make it,
take it out of
let's make a
Vancouver.
trip up there. We'll pack all our podcast gear and go.
It
through
did the hand.
Just go knock on the
possible.
door.
The
Yeah.
museum's awesome.
Bring
It's
a cheesecake.
incredible.
Or
Yeah,
something.
Oh man.
yeah,
Bring
it's
gifts.
super cool.
Bring him something for the museum.
I probably don't have anything that Jim Shockey would want. Here's my shit, Jim. He'd be like, yeah, thanks, guy. Garbage.
Yeah. What does he not have?
Dude, he's got everything in there. It's
Like,
it's incredible.
I mean, it's called Hand of Man Museum for a reason, right?
you want to talk about content? Like the amount of stuff that he has in there is mind blowing.
I mean, what, 40, 50 years of just collecting stuff?
Yeah,
Jeez.
over the
Around
time
the
he's been-
world.
yeah, around
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
and then
got-
plus a lot of artifacts.
yeah, the
Yeah.
art of like so he used to be like an antique dealer, right? So like all the stuff. Like you walk in and there's a room where you can like buy some stuff here and you go over here and like there's all these different rooms and I think it was an old elementary school or something and it's massive. Like there's a gymnasium part and it's like got all these like
Wow.
huge moose in there and like dude, it's just it is so cool. He's got huge life-size polar bears and like these huge skeletons and like I mean you could film hours and hours and hours of content in there. It's
Right.
it's cool. It's super cool. Yeah. Yeah, and
Nice.
he gave me and the old man a tour, so much appreciated. Thanks,
Oh,
Jim.
Wow.
Yeah,
He gave you a personal tour?
we were the only people in there. We literally,
Wow.
it was joking. Like we walked in, it was right when it opened. I sent him a message and I was like, "Hey, when you open it up?" And like, "Hey, like it's gonna be Jim replying." He's like, "Oh, June or whatever." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll be up there fishing." And so we go in. We're the only people there. Go up to the receptionist
and
desk.
here comes Jim.
Yeah,
around the
well,
corner.
you give like a donation or whatever. So I
Yeah.
give the lady some money, and I got the guys standing behind me. And I think we had like 3 or 4 guys. It was like my Uncle John and my dad and Kent Johnson. What up, Kent? And and I jokingly say, hey, is Jim around? And there's like one of those sliding walls, like a big like opaque door, like
Oh my gosh.
And they slide open. I was like, oh, and there's Jim.
there he is.
Up on a step stool like 30 yards away, and he's like, "Hey guys, what are you doing?" And I'm like, just
Just total fanboy.
oh yeah, big time." And I was like, I don't give a shit about anyone, and I was just like, what is wrong with me? Like, calm your tits, Chris. But we went up, and he was just like, he comes down, he was like hanging something up on the wall,
Yeah.
He's like, he's the guy working on the museum, which I thought was super
Amazing.
cool.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then he literally walked us around everything and told us about stuff and showed us like, oh, this was this and this was
There's
that.
probably a story to every single thing in that place.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was
that he has personal and
yeah, and like
involvement.
the most for how famous that guy is. He was like super genuine. Like the only people that I mean, I haven't been to their like museum or house, but like I met Lee and Tiffany, and same thing. They were just like the nicest freaking people. And a guy from the gun shop is actually, they're related, right? And I've talked to them about the Lakoskis, and they're like, oh yeah, they're super great people, and they're like salt of the earth, and the same type of thing. But like Jim was just like, oh yeah, this is like we would be down here and be like, oh yeah, I shot that kudu, and so there I was, and like
got the full story,
you know. And you could
takes
ask
you on a little adventure as you're like walking around.
And he wasn't like irritated,
Yeah.
like that I'm asking stupid questions.
Nice.
Hey,
That's
hey,
awesome.
Hey Jim, what's this? And he's just like, oh, it's a
Yeah, he's heard that question.
it's a Croatian manatee narwhal, dummy. Like don't you know this?
You know what that is?
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, cool. But you should, everyone should go check that out
Handyman.
after you watch the movie about wolves and campaigns.
Yeah.
It's
It was
not
good.
about wolves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
about
know
a
why
bear.
it's even called
Yeah.
that, but whatever.
Because he was saying like, what was it?
'Cause they're
he
trying
was
to be
talking
cool,
about that they
dude.
were
They're trying
apex
to be
predators or something. That humans
Oh,
are the
man.
apex predators
yeah.
or something like that. But like how we are, I guess we're like wolves or something.
I don't-
Man.
I
Well,
don't think we get a lot of those.
I'm super excited for all of our hunts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to have T up here. I'm excited to see what you guys do in Montana, hopefully Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to have some solid stuff up in Alberta. And then later in the season, Doug and myself and James will also have some good content.
Oh, it's gonna be
I'm
good.
gonna hammer down in the fall for sure.
It's going to be really good. Unfortunately, we all have like regular, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. jobs
Yeah.
because we work 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. So we'll get you guys some good stuff. So stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned. And with that being said, stay humble and hunt hard.